I'm Anil Kumar, and here is an interesting question from my student. They have just been introduced with secondary primary trigonometric ratios. So that means they know what sine theta, cosine theta, and tan theta is. And now they are learning about secant theta, cosecant theta, and cotangent theta. So the very first question which comes to their mind is, explain why secant x equals to 1 over 4 has no solution. Now, I will solve this in different ways, and let us try to understand this part, right? When we begin with secondary trigonometric ratios, it's kind of important to understand them. So first part is that, well, secant x is actually 1 over cos x, correct? So if secant x is 1 over 4, what is cos x? In that case, cos x will be equals to 4 over 1. Is it okay? So can you get cos x 4? No. We know that the cos x value is always less than equal to 1 or greater than equal to minus 1, right? So cos x cannot be 4, and therefore secant x cannot be 1 by 4, right? So that is one reason, right? Now, so we can write here, since cos x is not equal to 4, secant x is not equal to 1 over 4. That is one way of looking into it. The other way is, what we can do is, we can make a triangle and understand from the very basic definition, right? So let us say in this triangle, we have 90 degrees angle there, it's a right triangle, and this angle is x for us. Now in the triangle, what is secant x equals to? Now here, let me write down sides as adjacent, right? This is A, adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse. Now secant is 1 over cos, correct? So it is reciprocal of A over h. So secant x is hypotenuse over adjacent side, right? Now in any triangle, we know hypotenuse should be greater than or maximum equal to A, right? It is equal to A when x is 0, but otherwise it is greater than. Now since the numerator is greater than denominator, so we have secant x is greater than equal to 1. I should write absolute value of 1. You understand? Complicated. I'm just trying to, absolute means always more than 1. Or it could be negative also if you are in quadrant 2 or in quadrant 3, right? So we say it cannot be less than 1, right? So what we are trying to say here is that secant x is never less than, or is not never a fraction between 1 and minus 1, right? That's another way of looking into it. Now I can also show you graphically how secant x actually varies, or what are the possible values for secant x. So what we'll do is that we'll just begin with a graph which is, let me just sketch a graph here, a function here which is, okay, so that is, let's make it a cosine function, and then secant is reciprocal of cosine, correct? So we'll just draw y-axis here. So this function is a cosine function, starts with the maximum, correct? Now if I have to sketch secant, I mean this should be at a straight line, which is not that straight, doesn't matter, but I hope you understand. So this, for cos, it is 1 here, right? Maximum is 1, minimum is minus 1. If you have to sketch secant x, so you have to do 1 over 1 is 1, right? And there we have to do 1 over 0. So 1 over 0 is not defined, so at this point we'll have a vertical asymptote, correct? 1 over 0 is not defined. Here also you'll have a vertical asymptote, correct? So negative parts will be exactly similar to these parts. You can see this is even function. Do you see that? This is symmetric, right? So I will draw here one vertical asymptote just to simplify, and then you can extend it. So secant is actually reciprocal of this. That means it will be touching here, but then the value increases, correct, on both sides. It's like this. And on the negative side also it increases. Do you see that? So what you notice here is that the value of secant is maximum on the negative side as -1, lower than -1, and minimum of 1 on the positive side and always greater than, right? So from here we understand that the value of secant x should always be greater than equal to 1, or secant x is always less than equal to -1. So that is the range of secant x, correct? So I hope that in these three different ways you understand why secant x cannot be in between plus and -1, or 1/4 is definitely not a solution, not providing any solution for secant x. I hope that helps. Thank you.